Hear that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have lost none of their charm, particularly in the world of litigation. What are we talking about? Let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. I hope you're keeping well. Now, the picture that you've seen at the side of your screen really does hark back to a wonderful golden time, the golden age of Hollywood. This particular house that you're looking at was the former home of one of the, most famous movie stars of an era. Now, we're all too young to remember these people, but way back in the 1920s and before, there were a couple that were bigger than anything else that you would have heard of. Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. They were the king and queen of Hollywood. They had their own mansion out there called Pickfair, and this is the home of their son, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. He lived here in the 1920s, and now you could get a taste of that glamour yourself because recently it was on the market for $500,000 rent a year. It's just a flat, by the way. It's on the corner. I know you can't get over it, can you? It's just a flat in the corner of Park Lane, very near all the very plush hotels like Grosvenor House, Dorchester, Hilton, all that sort of stuff. But apparently in this particular flat, people like Sir Noel Coward, Laurence Olivier, and many others like Vivian Leigh parted the night away. So a lot of history, and as you can see from these pictures, thoroughly modernised now. But again, who's got $500,000 just for rent? Oh, you have? I'll give you the number. Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. Cast your mind back to earlier this year when the half-sister of the Duchess of Sussex, Samantha Markle, decided to issue litigation and a court case to Rachel Markle. That's how she formed the papers, shall we say. This was all about, of course, that book which Meghan forgot that she'd assisted with. Remember, she had to be recalled, and even though her former aide reminded her that, of course, she had in fact assisted, she'd completely forgotten. Something, of course, that the court allowed her to forget also. A rather embarrassing situation for everybody all round. But of course, according to Samantha, Meghan's half-sister, that particular book was very damaging, not just to her on a personal level, but also to her father, Thomas Markle, too. The Markles, it seems, are the gift that keeps on giving, because now Meghan has decided to try and get that particular court case against her half-sister thrown out on the grounds of, yes, public domain, right? Now, very strange, isn't it, when you think about it, because she can't remember helping with the book, but it's freedom of speech. You're allowed to say certain things even if they're not true. Try turning that round the other way. You know what I'm saying? What's interesting to note, though, this is at the very early stages of this court case. What's interesting for me particularly, and for those out there that cover the sort of stories like this, is Samantha, if she plays this rather cleverly, could in fact be able to turn this around, and let me explain the reasons why. If Samantha were in fact to be able to prove the certain things that she's claiming are untrue are in fact true, then this truly will turn this case on its head. But the bigger picture for Samantha moving forward is, of course, the power of money. Both Harry and Meghan have extensive lawyer money, and that makes it very difficult when you're starting out with a court case, particularly when they keep knocking you back. Each time a lawyer writes a letter, as we've told you many times here on the show, it costs you, and costs you big bucks. Now for Samantha moving forward, apparently she is going to push ahead, but it's going to be rather difficult. But isn't this totally unsavoury when you think about it? When you look at the situation with Harry and Meghan about how they're always pushing kindness, equality, that sort of thing. And then, of course, this particular family member, just because she decides that she doesn't agree with something in a book that is apparently you have assisted with, allegedly, then the problem really just escalates and escalates. I really don't understand why Harry and Meghan pursue these particular litigation cases. It just makes their brand, their image even more unsavoury. As for Samantha moving forward, if she feels she has a case, then one would suggest she pushes ahead. Now, she may need a sponsor at some point, someone who's willing to fight her corner, because obviously, as I've said, these cases are incredibly expensive. Moving forward, we have to now wait for the next round to see whether the judge decides, of course, that it is freedom of speech. Whichever way it goes, this particular court battle between the once allegedly close sisters remains to be seen how it will unfold. But right now, it seems to be round one to Meghan Markle. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.